Let's now shift our focus, to the latest debutant on Dalal Street, and that is TVS Supply Chain Solutions. So, the stock listed at a mild premium. It listed at a premium of 5% at 207.05 rupees on the National Stock Exchange and 206 on the Bombay Stock Exchange. And we have the management with us. We have with us Mr. Ravi Viswanathan, who is the Managing Director at TVS Supply Chain Solution. Mr. Viswanathan, very good morning, and thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us here on Business Today Television. First of all, let me ask you about the listing only. I mean, how do you see the listing? And talking about your financials also, so how do you plan to scale your revenues higher, and what's the outlook for FY24?
All right. Firstly, thank you and want to wish all your viewers. I want to also say that we're very happy with the listing. We want to welcome on behalf of my 18,000 colleagues globally, the 61,000 investors to the family. But I also want to take the opportunity to congratulate the scientific fraternity of India for a historic day yesterday, the moon landing, and I want to congratulate ISRO and the entire scientific fraternity. I think it is a huge confidence booster for every Indian, and it will rub off on the industry. We couldn't have chosen a better day, and we are very proud and privileged to be listed in the stock exchange in India. Coming to your second part of the question, the outlook. I mean, our aspiration is to be amongst the global top 50 companies in the world, and that is the vision that is driving the entire workforce of TVS Supply Chain Solutions. We are looking at in the medium term to grow to about a $2.5 billion business with at least a 4% profit as we go forward. And that's the medium term outlook, and that's what we're working on. If you look at the business dynamics itself, if you look at the performance of the company in FY20, our revenues were about 6,600 crores, which grew to about 10,235 in the last 3 years. And the EBITDA also has grown from about 243 crores to 683 crores in the last 3 years. So all of the parameters are trending very well. And that's the reflection of the scale that we have built in the company. The company's platform is a solid platform built on domain, built on experience of working with very large customers globally, and building a technology platform, which is really what is driving this growth. And the scale is reflected on the fact that our top 5, top 10, top 20 customers are all growing in double digits. And our Fortune 500 customers have grown from about 50 2 years ago to about 72 in FY23. So I think that is a reflection of the platform and the ability for us to scale. And in a way, Tanya, I think it reflects on what our aspiration is and how we are gearing the platform to deliver this kind of growth over the next 5 years.
Right. Mr. Viswanathan, welcome to Business Today Television. Let's speak broadly about the industry. Of course, logistics is the sector on which the entire country moves. You pull raw materials from one part of the country, put it into factories, and from there pick out the finished product and ensure that customers like us don't have waiting periods. Let's just analyze the broader sector. We've seen a fabulous network of highways that have been set up across the country, and because I travel so much on the road, I realized that a lot of multi-axle trucks, 16-wheelers, 32-wheelers are traveling these days on these highways, pointing out to the fact that the economy is doing really well. Can you share some anecdotal evidence or how your clients have increased business over the last 8-10 months? We've seen GST numbers coming out really well. E-way bill on a monthly basis is showing a strong traction. Share with us some granular details of how logistics is growing in the country.
I think it's a great observation that you have, Shailendra, and it is truly a reflection of the growth of the economy. And if I look at it from TVS Supply Chain Solutions perspective, Anecdotally, I can tell you that the time it takes for us to move materials from, say, Delhi to, if you pick a point like Chennai, has probably reduced by about 300%. And that is really increasing the volume and the velocity at which we are able to deliver a faster and accelerated manufacturing, which is happening across the country. The second thing that we are seeing clearly is the shift of the manufacturing sector in its own velocity, given the fact that both Make in India and the PLI has really moved from rhetoric to action. And today, there are far more industries who are part of these programs. And what it means is that there is a significant expansion in the production supply, and therefore the production supply chain, which we represent, is seeing a significant growth. And that reflects in our numbers. If you look at the India business for us, the India business is growing at a significant differential velocity to that of the rest of the world. We are an Indian MNC which has operations across the globe, and the India business is growing very rapidly. India today is the second largest country for us after the UK, just 10 crores behind the UK revenue. So UK had a revenue of 3,036 crores last year, and India had a revenue of 3,026 crores. And that in many ways reflects what India is as an opportunity, what we are doing for our customers, and where we are seeing a lot of traction is the combination of both the ability for us to move things fast and also bring in significant amount of technology like the automatic storage and retrieval platforms and a whole lot of data analytics based technologies which are now being deployed in many of our solutioning for our customers in India and of course globally.
Taking this question further, Mr. Viswanathan, which is the longest route that you cater to, and how much time has been shortened because of automated FASTag, better revenues, and the e-way bill, which is now electronic? If you can just share this data with us.
Right. So I just want to come back to our business model. So we are not in a point-to-point transport kind of a business, but we are an integrated transporter bringing in solutions which feed into the production line of our customers. And anecdotally, I can say that I don't know if I can tell you what our longest tract is, but I gave you an indication of the kind of efficiencies we are seeing thanks to the infrastructure elements like the ones that you mentioned, which is significantly bringing down travel times or transportation times by about 300%.
Okay, absolutely. And Mr. Viswanathan, I was talking to a few experts about the future prospects and, you know, about the company, but I think you are the best person. So I would like to ask you that they mentioned that the company operates in a highly competitive industry and has reported losses in the past 2 years. So what is your outlook when it comes to profitability and margins going forward?
So, absolutely, it is a very competitive segment, and it's a good thing when there is that kind of competition, because it means there's a lot of industrial activity. The key thing for us is that if you look at our history from our inception to FY20, there has not been a single year of losses in the company. FY20 and 21 were difficult years. FY20 was something which we knew because we had made a host of acquisitions and there were consolidation costs which were coming in, and that was something which was planned. 21, of course, everybody knows was a COVID year. But if you look at it, in FY22, we turned PBT positive again. In FY23, we were both PBT and PAT positive. So the company has significantly moved the pendulum back towards profits. And I think where we are today, we are very confident of continuing on this journey.
Okay, absolutely. And I want you to talk about the global supply chain crisis also, because you mentioned about COVID years, and of course, some companies are still struggling when it comes to, supply chain crisis. So how do you plan to tackle?
I think, I look at it this way that, every crisis is an opportunity. There are opportunities, and our portfolio is really something which has, I would say, a natural hedge. So during the COVID time, we were able to significantly increase the volume of business, or the businesses that we did in the freight side, because the freight rates were significantly higher, and that's where we were driving value based on our ability to manage our supply side very efficiently for our customers. So we did see a sharp increase in our growth in the global freight business. And as the freight business started steadying and I would say the rates started declining, the rest of the portfolio started growing. And I think that's where the natural hedge in a business like ours. So if you look at our business, about 35% of the business is from the global forwarding business, and the rest is coming from different parts of the supply chain. And I think the portfolio mix gives us a very good balance. If you look at it from a supply chain disruption, yes, it was peaked during the COVID time. Things are returning to normalcy. I think the semiconductor supply chain issues are probably, I wouldn't still say behind us, but definitely the winds are very strong and pushing it towards normalcy.
Okay. Lastly, Mr. Viswanathan, there was a deal that happened with Centrica PLC of United Kingdom. So I know it's confidential, but if you could, touch upon that and give us a little bit information.
Sure. I think one of the big positives and differentiators of TVS Supply Chain Solutions is the strength of our customers and the customer centricity that we have. Our model is built on customer accounts. And like I said, the top 20 accounts have been growing very handsomely, and we continue to build on that platform. Centrica is part of that, large account strategy. It is a very large engagement. I can't tell you the value of the deal, but there were, and let me just say that it's a 7-year plus deal, which means after 7 years, we have a look-in period of another 3 years. So I think it is something which is historic for us. And in many ways, it serves an inflection point. What it is a combination of our domain capability encapsulated in our technology, all of which is homegrown, and a deployment at scale. Because today what we are doing for Centrica is a pan-UK deployment, supporting over 9,000 engineers of our customer organization on a daily basis, by managing the inventory at the optimal level and ensuring the integrated final mile delivery of all of these components for their daily installation, repair, and management of spares. So it is a very unique business. I think we have been able to win it against, I would say, global majors, and it's a significant step towards establishing ourselves as very close to a tier 1 capability in the supply chain side in UK and Europe.
Okay, so on that wonderful note, thank you so much, Mr. Viswanathan, for sharing these wonderful insights with us and being with us here on Business Today Television, and all the very best for the coming quarters as well.
Thank you, Shailendra and Tanya.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.